Hi, everyone. I am Kamran Tariq, Senior Program Manager for the Spark for Innovations in Pediatrics Hub at Children's National Hospital. Thank you for joining us today for this information session regarding the Spark Accelerator Program and Spark Dev Funding Opportunities 2026. First, a quick introduction of our team on the panel today. We have on the panel Dr. Kolale Eskandanian, who is the Program Director for Spark. We have Dr. Julia Finkel, who's the Principal Investigator for Spark. From BARDA side, we have Dr. Mary Larkin and Dr. Connor Hutchison joining us today as well. Dr. Mary Larkin is the Program Manager at BARDA, and Dr. Connor Hutchison is an ORISE Fellow supporting BARDA. Before we begin, a quick housekeeping note. If you have any questions during the session, please feel free to put them in the Q&A box. Our team will be monitoring it throughout and will respond to your questions as we go. About Spark. Spark is actually an acronym for Special Populations Acceleration, Research, and Knowledge. We are a BARDA Accelerator Network hub focused on addressing challenges around the development and availability of medical countermeasures, or MCMs, for pediatric populations, especially pediatric populations facing chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, or seaborne threats, pandemic influenza, and emerging infectious diseases. We're led by Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C., and are sponsored by BARDA. With that, I will hand it over to Team BARDA to talk about BARDA's mission and provide an overview of the BARDA Accelerator Network that we are a part of.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Connor. As Cameron said, my name is Connor Hutchison. I'm an ORISE Fellow supporting the BARDA Accelerator Network. I'm also serving as a co-lead for this specific hub focused on pediatric countermeasures. I'm just going to give a quick overview of BARDA and the BARDA Accelerator Network. So BARDA stands for the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority. We are an agency that was started in 2006 under the Administration for Strategic Preparedness and Response, which is under HHS. So BARDA's mission particularly is to develop medical countermeasure technologies. And these are technologies that ultimately address public health situations and medical consequences that are related to chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear threats, or otherwise known as seaborne accidents. These could also be incidents, terrorist attacks, and we also cover incidents under pandemic influenza and emerging infectious diseases. Next slide, please. So within BARDA, we have a unique program called the BARDA Accelerator Network, where our objective is to these are those technologies that address those seaborne threats and protect public health. So within our network, we have 5 distinguished hubs. And you can see that our 5 hubs here on the figure to the right. Each of the hubs is a unique strategic partnership that BARDA forms with an accelerator group. And I'll kind of go through each of the hubs real quick, just giving a quick overview. I'll start with our Therapeutics and Vaccines hub, which is a partnership called VITAL. This is with the START2 Accelerator Group out of Cambridge, Massachusetts. Within this hub, we focus on developing early stage vaccine and therapeutic approaches for indications within BARDA's mission space. Our next hub is iCreate, which is a hub focused on the diagnostics and medical devices. So these could be diagnostics to help detect disease at the early stage, as well as various medical devices to help treat and prevent future outbreak. This is with the University Lab Partner Group, which is out of California. The next hub is the Paratus Digital Health Hub. This is a partnership with the Matter Group out of Chicago. Within this hub, we focus on digital health technologies. This can include artificial intelligence, wearable technologies, basically looking at modeling approaches. This can also include like digital twins and silico approaches to help develop new medical countermeasures and detect disease as well. The BioTools Innovator Vanguard is a hub, is a partnership with the BioTools Innovator Group out of California as well. Within this hub, we focus on enabling technologies. These could be platforms for drug discovery, drug screening, and also manufacturing approaches. And then last but definitely not least is the Spark Hub, which is our partnership here with Children's National Group out of Washington, D.C., focusing on developing these various medical countermeasure technologies focused on pediatric and special populations. Now, within each of these hubs, we offer a few different kind of resources, and you could see these resources here on the left side of the slide. The first resource I'll talk about is wraparound accelerator support services. So this is a pretty traditional accelerator program that's been developed by the hub and is executed by each of our partners, providing business development support, entrepreneurial support, and also helping companies make strategic partnerships to help advance their respective company or technology development. The second opportunity that we present are non-dilutive funding opportunities. We call these development, evaluation, and validated funding. These are small non-dilutive funding opportunities ranging from $50,000 to $200,000. We offer this yearly through each of the hubs, focusing on topic areas that are specifically under BARDA's specific interest or mission space. So in some of these opportunities we'll be talking about today specifically for the Spark Hub. We also offer rapid response capabilities. So in the instance of a public health emergency, this could be like a pandemic situation, or any of the various other scenarios that BARDA covers within its mission, we have the capability to grant advanced amount of funding and accelerate the development of technologies that can address that specific threat. So not something that we would obviously activate under at least under normal circumstances, but this is a unique vehicle within our program that we offer. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next slide, Kamran.
Thank you, Connor.
I think I'll pass it back off to the Spark team. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Connor. As Connor mentioned, there are 5 hubs in the BARDA Accelerator Network focusing on different technology areas. So why a special hub focused on pediatrics was needed? It was needed because children are highly vulnerable in public health emergencies, yet they're really underserved by the current MCMs. For example, 40% of the MCMs in strategic national stockpiles, they have no pediatric indication at all, and many lack pediatric specific dosing data and safety evidence. There are multiple reasons for that. There could be logistical challenges. Pediatric formulations can be costly, harder to store, and there are research challenges as well, as ethical protections and consent requirements limit clinical trials and in turn increase development costs as well. However, we at Spark Hub believe that cost or logistics must not justify lesser preparedness for children. There's a need to include pediatric formulations and dosing in national stockpiles. Children are not little adults, so dosing should be based on pediatric research and not extrapolated from the adult data. And we need to ensure ethical inclusion in life-saving studies for children. One way to achieve all of that is to build strong partnerships across public and private sectors to prioritize pediatric health security, as children are 22% of the population, but 100% of our future. Speaking of partnerships, the Spark Hub team at Children's National, along with its partners, has a long history of pediatrics-focused innovation and commercialization programs. Spark Hub itself is a consortium led by Children's National Hospital in partnership with CIMMIT out of Mass General and BioHealth Innovation in Washington, D.C. As you know, as Connor mentioned, Spark Hub is sponsored by BARDA, while Spark core team is also leading the FDA-sponsored Alliance for Pediatric Innovation as well. Children's National is also home to HRSA-sponsored Pediatric Pandemic Network. You will notice that all of these partnerships have one goal in common, and that is protecting our most vulnerable, our children. 2026 will be Spark Hub's second year. In 2025, we supported these 10 companies through either our accelerator program or debt funding or both. On the right are some of the examples of the pediatrics-focused technologies that our 2025 cohort is working on. You will notice that unlike other hubs in the BARDA Accelerator Network, Spark Hub is technology area agnostic, and we've supported companies across devices, diagnostics, digital health, vaccines, therapeutics, and enabling technologies sectors. So if you are developing a pediatrics-focused medical countermeasure that could be deployed in response to seaborne threats, emerging infectious diseases, and pandemic influenza, we're really interested in hearing from you. We have 2 annual opportunities. We are currently accepting applications for the Spark Accelerator Program 2026, which is a zero-cost, equity-free, needs-based advisory and mentorship program for companies developing pediatric health security solutions. We are also accepting applications for Spark Dev funding opportunity, where multiple awards of up to $200,000 in non-dilutive funding are available for development, evaluation, and validation of pediatrics-focused medical countermeasures. To provide you with a little bit more detail of what these 2 opportunities look like, at a glance, the participants in Spark Accelerator program will start with a self-assessment exercise to identify their specific needs in the domains like technical, clinical, regulatory, reimbursement, intellectual property, and commercialization. Based on the needs identified by the cohort, you'll be able to participate in webinars and panel discussions, and you'll have access to one-on-one office hours with the featured speakers as well. Since we're based out of a hospital, if there's alignment, you can tap into our pediatric clinician networks for validation, feedback, and potential clinical collaboration opportunities as well. If there are commercialization needs, you can benefit for advising from senior industry leaders through our partnership with BioHealth Innovations Entrepreneur in Residence program. And through curated BARDA and Spark events, you'll have access to network of innovators and others, healthcare ecosystem partners. The second opportunity is Dev non-dilutive funding opportunity. There are multiple awards of up to $200,000 that are available in non-dilutive funding for projects of a duration of about 6 months that will focus on development, evaluation, and validation of pediatrics-focused medical countermeasures. I want to emphasize that these awards are not grants. These are fixed-price contracts with milestone-based payments. Some of the examples of allowable expenses are direct cost for these activities, as well as labor cost for any personnel or CROs that are directly engaged in doing the work that's proposed in the project. You will also have full access to Spark Accelerator program materials and core mentors. And for this year, we have switched up a little bit and we've changed our application. In the Dev application, you'll see that there's a checkbox that you can tick in order to be considered for the accelerator cohort if you're not selected for Dev funding. In terms of reporting requirements, there will be monthly progress updates, milestone achievement reports, and a final report at the end of the completion of the project. So for 2026, for both of these opportunities, we have divided our focus areas in 4 different categories. You'll see that one of our goals is to enable rapid, ethical, and scalable testing for pediatric MCMs. So in the preclinical models for pediatrics bucket, you'll see that we're interested in hearing from companies and innovators developing pediatric-specific organoids, tissue chips, organ-on-a-chip, as well as animal models for safety, efficacy, and dosing studies in children. We're also interested in shortening development timelines and lowering cost by generating early actionable insights before large trials. So we're interested in pediatrics-focused digital twins, pediatric PK/PD drug modeling, as well as simulation platforms to optimize clinical trial design and forecast pediatric responses. Another focus this year is to empower data-driven decision-making for faster go, no-go, and pivot calls. So you'll see that we're interested in tools and platforms that integrate biological, computational, and real-world data to accelerate MCM development and reduce the need for large-scale pediatric clinical trials. We are also interested in pediatric use case demonstration of MCM technologies that are already FDA approved or are in active development for adult populations, and those can be repurposed for use in pediatric populations. So what are we not interested in? BARDA primarily develops medical countermeasures to counter acute threats and does not support research and development or acceleration in the areas of oncology or chronic disease. However, BARDA does partner with innovators and companies developing platform and multi-use technologies. So if you're putting an application in, you can include data from other use cases as long as BARDA funding and resources will be used to support research and development of a BARDA relevant use case. In terms of eligibility, we're welcoming applications from academic innovators and companies. Your proposals should align with BARDA's mission and demonstrate strong pediatric focus. This is the most important selection criteria that you should be focusing on. This funding opportunity is open to both US and non-US entities, and all technology readiness levels are considered. Applicants are also allowed to apply to multiple Spark solicitations, so you can apply to both the Spark Accelerator program as well as non-dilutive funding opportunities. And you can also apply to these sort of solicitations from other BARDA Accelerator Network hubs as well. Your applications and proposals will be reviewed independently. For more details regarding the eligibility and selection criteria, you can visit our RFP pages on our website, and you'll see that there's a frequently asked questions sections under each of the opportunities that will provide you more details. In terms of key dates and timeline, for the Spark Accelerator Program 2026, submission deadline is November 17. Shortlisted candidates will be invited for pitch calls. These are 30-minute calls with Spark and BARDA teams and subject matter experts. Those will be scheduled in January 2026. We are hoping to select the teams by February 2026 and start the accelerator programming by March 2026. For Spark Dev Non-Dilutive Funding Opportunity 2026, it is a two-stage application process. At this time, we are accepting preliminary proposal submissions. The deadline is November 17, 2025. Shortlisted candidates will be invited to submit full proposals in January 2026. There will be similar pitch calls with BARDA and Spark teams, as well as subject matter experts in February 26. And then there will be a period of guided proposal revisions. This is a period where you will work with BARDA and Spark teams and the subject matter experts to align on a scope of work, deliverables, and milestones. And we anticipate that the final awards will be announced in April 2026. With that, I will encourage you to get in touch with us. You can email us at sparkhub@childrensnational.org. You can visit our website, mcm4kids.org, and you can also follow us on LinkedIn. The name of our page is Spark for Innovations in Pediatrics Hub. The recording and slides of this session will be available at Spark website. And now I will encourage you to put your questions in the Q&A box, and we can start answering them. Yes, slides will be shared.
Hey, Carmen, can I make one more comment?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So for those of you on the call today that are thinking about applying for one of these opportunities, particularly the non-dilutive funding opportunities, if you're working on a technology that is relevant to both an adult population as well as a pediatric population, we do expect to have that some data from adults will need to be included in the application to be eligible for the PEDS application. This is specifically considering if you have an adult device MCM that you're wanting to transition to a pediatric use case, you need to have that adult data to be eligible to apply for PEDS. Just a little clarification there. Thank you.